It is 9:30 on a Thursday night, and you're tuned in to Beltway Radio and Beyond, which can mean one and only thing. But this is Chip Chat. Welcome to Chip Chat, everybody. I'm Chip, and Tez is on assignment. So we have the one and only, I guess now our most common co-host, guest co-host, Black Picasso himself, Patrick, is here. What's in the glass, Patrick?
Hey, look, every time I show up, and I used to show up in the studio, you know what you used to,
the gin and tonic.
The gin and tonic. So I got it, man. I'm here for it. And, very happy to be here with you and Brian. Shout out to Tez. Let's go.
Man, we are happy to have you. Now, last week you called into the show, which was very cool. So thank you for that. And thank you for wishing us a happy 11th anniversary. But now you're here live.
11 years, man. How are you guys still in business? I don't get it, because I would have taken you off the air by now.
Yeah, that's the funny thing, is that I know the guy that owns the network, so he hasn't kicked me off. But look, it's also sort of like an exciting, this is a special edition of Chip Chat, right? Because Patrick is here. And it's also, there's World Baseball Classic, which is where Tez is. We sent him down there to cover that. And no, he's really just checking out the next place that Trump's going to be bombing. All right, without telling me, I'm going to say, and you're going to say, we're going to say it at the same time. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, go. And then we're going to say, what do you think is the next place Trump randomly decides to have a war with? Are you ready? Let's see if we say the same thing.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me come up with a good one. Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, go.
Australia.
Cuba. Ah. Let's hope it's not Australia. I like those koalas. They're cute, I don't want them getting blown up. They just have like all those forest fires and they had to go rescue all the koalas.
Yes. Yeah. They're so cute. You know what I mean?
But cute. Hey, they all have syphilis or chlamydia, one or the other. I don't remember.
They do.
Yeah.
Yes. That's weird.
But I think they have a vaccine for it now. I think that was a big thing that just a few maybe months ago, there was a story on the radio that they finally perfected the chlamydia vaccine for the koalas, so they can go and save the koalas.
Yeah. Who discovered that koalas had chlamydia? That's the real mystery.
And how they discovered it, I think, is probably the bigger mystery. Yikes indeed. But also, so here's a little inside thing, right? A little behind the scenes for the people. One of the things that we've covered on this show a number of times is micronations. We've had there's a few leaders of some of these micronations that we've had on the show several times. And one of them that I've been in contact with for a long time that we're just struggling to get him on the show just because of schedule conflicts is the Sultan of Slowjamistan. And
wait, what?
Yeah, so there is a country, a micronation. It's surrounded entirely by the United States. It's called Slowjamistan. It's near San Diego, California. And I am a citizen of Slowjamistan. Here's my Slowjamistani passport. This is a real thing.
Slowjamistan.
Yeah, see? It's a real passport. This document contains sensitive electronics for best performance. Do not bend or expose to temperatures. Let's see. So there are a few key tenets of Slowjamistan, right? Which one of them is that they hate Crocs. They're very against the wearing of Crocs. So included here in some of the restrictions on imports here, it says Crocs or mumble wrap are prohibited for information right to the Department of Treasury of Foreign Asset Control, Consulate of Slowjamistan, and it's got the address.
Hey, I love that. Listen. I wonder I wonder the Bill of Rights of Slowjamistan. Do you have the freedom to the freedom to assemble and party?
There's a whole thing. So go look up Slowjamistan and look up. They've got a border crossing. They've got a payphone, I think, and a few other nice features of the country. There are many citizens of Slowjamistan.
I want to join. I mean,
You
look,
can join. You can go.
but particularly if the money has, like, I was going to say, Luther Vandross should be on the
Well, that's
bill.
the Sultan himself. This is a 5 ruble note. And then there's on the back, there's this coyote looking guy. But this is real money. This is a 5 ruble Slowjamistani currency.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's dear leader of Randy R. Dub Williams. That's the Sultan. And so that's why it's
really
doubles.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have questions. So if you get pulled over, like how is this going to help you?
I think I can claim diplomatic immunity, maybe, if I'm serving in my diplomatic capacity. But sort of more to the point here is that we here at ChipChat have long sought our own national sovereignty and control of ChipChatistan, which we've discussed several times. And yeah. Now, very much in the model of Slowjamistan, today, in communication with the Sultan, who we've been trying to get on the show, they are hosting the MicroCon in 2027, which is the convention of the other micronations. They're all going to kind of get together and have like a micro UN. And Slowjamistan is hosting. There's going to be a lot of people there, people who aren't nations themselves, but maybe are affiliated or just interested and stuff like that. We want to go to this. We want to go to this thing and cover it. We want to talk about it. We want to get some interviews while we're there, but we have to raise some money, but which we can do. But the other thing is that today I got my playbook, my checklist of how to become ChipChatistan.
Yo, let's go. I love that. Can you imagine? Yo,
I can imagine. It's the problem is Tez is always trying to derail me from doing this, but since he's not here and Pat is here, the opportunity for mayhem presents itself.
Let's go. I love that. Yeah, come on. Look, I've already got. I'll start on the Bill of Rights over here, man. You let me know how you want to do this.
Well, so we'll have to figure that out. But it's all there, right? And I haven't determined like what sort of governing structure really ChipChatistan is going to be.
Okay.
Because initially, benevolent dictator has been the title I've wanted for a long time. But vis-a-vis the United States mostly. It turns out if I choose that method of governance, that's a lot of work just for me, as the benevolent dictator.
Hey, you need a cast. You need a willing and not necessarily capable, but you need a willing. That's it. Just willing.
That's it. Willing. So willing republic, I think, might be the thing where we'll have representatives, maybe a council of learned elders. Or
like that.
Yeah. Learned elders is a French word for your drinking buddies. So I think that if we had a council of like us and our idiot drinking buddies.
Can you imagine? Yo, I've already got a couple of names, and I think you share a couple.
Yeah, I think we share a lot of the same people. It'd be a really good country.
It would.
I think we could make Billy the Minister of Defense, which means he just doesn't let people in if he doesn't like them, and Terrence would of course be Minister of Art. That makes sense, of course.
Yeah.
And Tez is going to be the Minister of Education, right? Because he reads all those books and stuff because he's a nerd. Yeah.
I love it. I can
see how this comes together. Brian is Minister of Sports.
Right. Yeah.
We all have roles. So Patrick, what role in the new ChipChatistan government do you think would suit you best?
Okay. For me, I think I would be put me in HUD. Put me in put me in HUD. I'll do it. And I won't, I promise you, I won't take advantage of any single mothers. I won't, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna
won't fleece anybody. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I can hold it down.
I love that because, in America, the rule is that no matter who's president, Secretary of HUD has to be a black guy. Like,
it has to be.
That's the rules.
When was it Ben Carson or somebody got
was Carson HUD?
I feel like he was.
Yeah, he was HUD.
He was?
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, because he doesn't have any housing experience.
Nor does he have medical experience.
Yeah, right. Well, he did.
That's my point. Like he was literally a surgeon, and they put him in HUD because he was. HUD. Yeah, they heard urban and thought black guy, and then gave him HUD. Like
that's the rules. Yeah, I look. The rules carry. I don't make them. In ChipChatistan, those rules will still be there.
I'll take HUD.
I think we're gonna like Trump does. You're gonna have many jobs, right? Everybody in the cabinet, it's like secretary of 2 or 3 things. So you can be HUD and Minister of Culture, and then we can work that together.
Yeah. I'll juggle.
You're in charge of housing and poetry.
Because they go together so well.
I mean, you're got to write poems. Well, you got to have a house to write your poems in.
All right. Yeah. You could. Yeah. You got to keep your pen somewhere. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You can't just sit around outside. All right. So there you go. So that is the thing. So I think now for the next year or so, we're going to be I have to figure out how to raise enough money to get us to MicroCon and figure out how to become a full-fledged nation. And what I want to do, the goal here for all of our listeners who want to help and contribute, is to form the micronation and debut at MicroCon. Wow. So we're going to need a bunch of stuff, right? We're going to need to go through the checklist and actually incorporate and get all the paperwork and stuff that we need to do. We're also going to need gear, right? So we're going to need design. We're going to need, we've got a logo, right? But we need to turn that into like a flag.
Okay.
We need, some form of currency, maybe some form of, and it doesn't have to be great, right? We could be like a lazy nation that just uses Zelle. Like it already works, that's like, what's the official currency of ChipChatistan? Zelle. Just Zelle me. Like, how do you, I don't want to pay service fees. I don't want to deal with that. Zelle me, It can be stuff like that. So if you're listening now and you want to contribute to ChipChatistan, get at us, contact us, contact the show. You can get me on Blue Sky at Chef Chip, and you can let us know. Let us know how you want to help build the nation of ChipChatistan, because this country is, if we're good at any one thing, it's nation building, and we're right back at it where we've been our best for so many years. Speaking of which, we're going to talk about what's going on in Iran. We're going to talk about why Trump's lawyers still aren't lawyers, and why Ohio sucks, and how Trump blows up schools full of children. Yeah, that's true. He did that.
You see that? I'm not surprised by anything anymore.
Nah, none of it's surprising. None of it's shocking. It's just amazing.
Hey, man. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to do all of that stuff. So Patrick, do you have your word for our famous sign off?
Yeah. Can I take the first word or second?
Yeah, you get the first word.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. All right. I've got a word. So sit back, grab some
processed meat products.
It's nation building time. You're listening to the best show, the only show, Chip Chat on Beltway Radio and beyond.
Woo!
Welcome back to Chip Chat here on Beltway Radio and beyond. I'm your host, Chip. With me tonight is Patrick. Say hi to the people, Patrick.
What's up, family? It's me. I'm back again. You can't get rid of me.
You might never have left. It's not clear whether you've ever gone, you know?
Yeah,
I'm always here.
Yeah, I stay in the closet right there behind you.
Right, yeah, just right over there. It's okay. You can come out of the closet these days. Well, maybe not with Trump in charge.
Yeah, I got to wait.
Yeah. So before we get to the headlines, the top headline is that today is my mom's birthday. So happy birthday, Mom. And she came over and we had ice cream. There we go. We had ice cream and the kids sang and we, blew out candles and stuff. So it was a whole thing and it's fantastic. So happy birthday, Mom. And
happy birthday, Mom.
Very sorry what you're about to be associated with for the rest of this show. All right. So we've got the headlines. Now tradition dictates that you get to go first there, Pat. So if you want to take it away.
All right. So today's headlines: Trump attended the dignified transfer service members killed in his Iran war wearing a white baseball cap. He was criticized by some for forgetting his tan suit.
Yes.
Ah, man, the tan suit. I missed that.
Yeah, the tan suit. Remember?
I missed the tan suit.
The war in Iran has had far-reaching consequences. Iran. We're going to switch to Iran when we're doing it in Republican. Iran. The war in Iran has had far-reaching consequences, including that Iran's men's soccer team will not be participating in the World Cup. Incidentally, neither will the U.S. men's team, but that's just because they suck.
Go! Yes. Trump's reasons for the war have shifted almost as fast as his excuses for his hand being purple.
Yes. Nobody knows what's going on with that.
Dude, I think he's turning into a Thanos, actually.
That's hilarious. But his hand's too small to be Thanos. He's a little tiny hands.
Yeah.
Trump's reasons for the war in Iran have changed more often than he changes wives.
Whoa. Trump's reasons for the war in Iran have gone back and forth more times than J.D. Vance on a sofa.
Oh, couch fucker. Trump's reasons for the war in Iran are about as strong as his ability to pronounce acetaminophen.
Man, you had to take a breath with that one.
Acetaminophen.
It's tough. Trump's reasons for war in Iran keep changing because he can't spell or pronounce oil.
Yes. As the war in the Middle East spreads, Trump has grown concerned that his strategic stockpile of corrupt jumbo jets might in fact be in jeopardy.
They are.
I shouldn't be laughing at that.
Yeah, right. The Gulf states are really nervous about this war, not because they fear Iran, but because they worry Trump might come visit them again.
Yes, that's a serious risk one might not want to take.
It's bound to happen.
According to government watchdog Open the Book, Secretary of Pete Hegseth took a break from buying sushi prep tables to go buy lobster instead. Then he spent $12,000 on fruit basket stands. Fruit basket is what Pete Hegseth calls Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who is gay.
Yeah, who for real?
Yeah, he's married.
Oh, okay, hey,
he's got a husband.
Oh, okay.
Trump's Supreme Court might take away from him.
Oh, wouldn't that be something? The Defense Department has barred press photographers from briefings on the ongoing U.S.-Israeli military conflict with Iran after they published photos of Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth that his staff deemed unflattering, according to two people familiar with the decision who spoke on the condition of anonymity out of fear of retaliation. What do these photos look like, man?
That's some of these photos. They didn't like yeah, that's the one. The like squished up Chucky face. Is that Secretary John Gruden?
I'm gonna make a face like that.
Yeah, I can see why he doesn't like that face.
Okay, yeah, no, it's not cool. It's not
that
cool.
One where he's like,
oh my God.
I mean, is there a flattering image of Pete
No,
Hegseth?
I don't think so. Speaking of unflattering, new details emerged that show that the U.S. struck a girls' elementary school in the opening salvo of the Iran war. Even worse, Trump and Epstein had just paid to put their names on that school for young girls.
That's true. That's a rough one.
That can't be true. That's a rough one.
That is all of that sentence is true.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Only one part of it isn't true. Congress still hasn't funded the DHS, which includes the TSA. So if you have to fly anywhere, bring them an extra sandwich.
Please do. Please do. For real. TSA agents have had to take second jobs, though. So show your support for the new airport security-based adult website, onlyscans.com.
Yes, only scans.
Yeah, only scan. You know why? Because those TSAs are some baddies. Did you know that?
Yeah, well, and they've got the X-rays, right? So
woo,
they just publish in what they scan. You know, if you thought you were trying to like, you know, fly and be relaxed and just wear like a t-shirt and jeans, no. The TSA has got the deal.
You gotta put your hands up like this, you know.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Speaking of unflattering, oh man, Trump has a new hobby at the White House. This is true. Guessing men's shoe sizes and then sending them these $150 dress shoes.
Shut up.
This is true. Even if they don't fit, all the cabinet members have been wearing them around when they're at work at the White House. In Trumpistan, you don't lick the boots, the boot licks you. I'm not making any of that up. Go look at that. Marco Rubio is walking around with shoes with a gap about an inch wide behind the back of his heel and where the shoe is because he doesn't want to be seen not wearing the shoes that Trump gave him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They don't fit. Poor little Marco.
Oh, poor little Marco. The World Baseball Classic got underway. And if you were surprised to find out that Great Britain and Australia had baseball teams, so was the World Cricket Federation.
Yes. Speaking of which, you want to know how like ESPN 8 the Ocho I can get on my sports watching at home? I found street cricket. And you might say, well, what is street cricket?
Street cricket.
Yeah, street cricket is like pickup cricket, but instead of a cricket ball, because you're playing it like in a park or whatever, they use a tennis ball wrapped in electric tape.
And I'm man, people in the streets are resilient and, you know, they're ingenious and they'll come up with, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, and people got to play cricket.
They got to play cricket.
We used to play street hockey with a tennis ball that we would like get it wet till it wouldn't be bouncy anymore, you know, and then that was our ball for street hockey.
I mean, I can't think of any kid in the hood who's going to want to play cricket, but hey, somebody
in Pakistan they do. It's a different kind of hood, but
yes.
That's it. All right. In other sports news, March Madness starts this weekend with Selection Sunday. So, ladies, if you've ever wanted to get away with anything without your man knowing about it, you got about 2 weeks. Now's your time.
Look, man, I hate to admit this, but I'm not into basketball. I'm not. So it's not a big thing for me, right? I don't pay attention to it. I don't know any of the
you don't have to.
I don't have to. I don't have to, but you know, my dudes know. My dudes, you know, the guys I hang with, they do. So they'll start talking stats and whatever. I have a cheat code.
Okay.
My cheat code is basically the knowledge that there's always a Jalen or a Jaden on the team.
That's right.
There's always one. There's always one. All I gotta say is
several.
Right. So all I gotta do is say, oh, but my man Jaden is Mel. He put up some numbers. And then they'll start talking amongst themselves like, oh, yeah, Jalen. No. There's always one Jalen.
There was an article in the paper not too long ago, I think it was earlier this week, of how many Jalens there are in the NBA right now. It's got to be like the most common name.
Yeah, I don't know what happened a couple of years ago. It's kind of like the same reason that so many young ladies, my daughter included, are named Trinity.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because of at the time, it was just such a part of the culture and the and it became a second, nature to people to kind of gravitate towards that name.
Well, I was one of 12 Mikes in my 6th grade class. It was like the most common name for boys in America by a mile for like 20 years. It was crazy how common it was. And now like every third kid in my kids' classes are named either Charlotte or Madison. There's so many Charlottes and Madisons that they have to go by last name. It's
really, shout out to Maddie. Yeah.
There's so many. They're all Maddies. There's so many Maddies. Oh my God, there's so many Maddies. All right, we got one last one. You want it?
Let me find it. Yeah, finally, in local news, IndyCar announced they would hold a race in downtown DC. So stay tuned, y'all, for record-setting lap times of about 1 hour if the traffic is decent.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I stay out of the city on Fridays, definitely.
Yeah. Well, in general, I always tell people that everything in DC is an hour from everything else in DC. That is the length of time it takes to get from anywhere to anywhere, even if they're in the same quadrant. Like,
yeah,
if you're going from like Shaw to Georgetown, that's an hour.
Absolutely. You're not lying. Same thing in Atlanta, Georgia, man. I have the same issue. Yeah, it's just so many people, man. So why don't y'all move? Some of y'all need to move.
Yeah,
let y'all know.
Some people should leave.
Yeah, I mean,
218 of them and all of their staff.
Look, major cities aren't going to be the best places to live. I'm not going to say why, but yeah.
We'll leave it at that. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, we've got updates from the war and all of the next things and second and third halves of the show. It's gonna be wild. We promise not to blow anything up. Brian's probably gonna hit us with some AI stuff. So stay tuned.
Please do.
We'll be right back. You're listening to Chip Chat on Beltway Radio and beyond.
Yep.
She only dates black guys. Ooh, she only dates black guys. Ooh, she only dates black guys. Ooh. Oh. No, I'm not a brother, but I can still love you. Treat you like no other, baby. Oh, I'm not going to pretend I'm cool, 'cause I'm not, but give your boy a shot. Oh, her brother said they would whoop my ass if I ever get out of line. But my love I have for you, queen, not worried, we'll be fine. Oh, ooh. Fuck with me, girl. Fuck with me, girl. I need you in my world. I wanna be a man. White chocolate melts in your mouth, not in your hand. Ow! treat you like no other, baby. Oh. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
All right, welcome back to Chip Chat here on Bowie Radio.
Man, look.
I'm your host, Chip.
Look.
With me is Patrick.
Look, I need a music video for that, man. That was smooth. Yes.
So Brian has a habit of finding these songs or maybe making them. I don't know. I mean, it's the AI. So we have some serious questions here.
I don't have too many questions. I love it. I love it. Yo, it was like vanilla syrup. Yeah.
All right. First I want to know, is this a song? This is clearly a song from a white dude to somebody, to a girl, but is it from a white dude to a white girl or from a white dude to a black girl?
That is. I feel like it's too. It was really smooth. It was really smooth. I think it was. I think it might have been to a black girl.
My only clue is that there's the word queen in there, where he was like,
right.
I think white guys think that's the word that you can call black girls.
That's it. It. See, you nailed it. See, we had to look at context clues to figure it out.
I hope that's right, but it doesn't make it any better.
But AI, I think they call those hallucinations. They have these things that are embedded in them, the way they're programmed. So whoever was sitting behind the
well, so now that's my next question. What was the prompt? What did the creator of this mess say to the chatbot that produced that? What was the make me a song in the style of that is about this? What was the this?
Right. He was like, yo, I've got to get Miriam. I cannot have I need her in my life. And this is what he got. Okay.
Yeah, I can't figure out how to get Talisha to call me back. And hey Chat GPT.
Is that where we are now? Is this where we are?
Yeah, I guess so. It's like, write me a slow jam that's gonna get this person to call me back. And that's what it came up with, I guess.
We are gonna have some really fucked up relationships. We are.
Could you imagine if somebody sent that to their love interest and she goes, you know what? Yes, because of this song, you have convinced me to give you a try. And that's the beginning of their like lifelong relationship.
You know what? Just for fun, I have a lady. I think I'm going to just try to weekly. I'm going to create a song. It's going to be weird, and I'm going to send her some really stuff and see if she stays with me after a month.
Oh, I have. Yeah, I've been doing that for 20 years. It's been working great. As a matter of fact, so recently I was at work and I found on the ground a roll of DC parking ticket paper, which some careless officer had dropped, I guess. And
Okay.
So I'm in possession of this, which is license for mayhem. And so the first thing I did with it to test it out was I wrote, not like a real ticket, but like I wrote a ticket and put it on my wife's windshield.
Did you say anything to indicate that it was a joke, or did you really go for it?
Yeah, I wrote something like "You're too pretty to park here" or whatever.
Oh, you're a winner right there.
Yeah.
That was nice.
I knew better, right?
Yeah.
And she got it, and she thank you. That's right. Yeah. And so then she took a picture of it and she sent it back to me. She's like, that's cute or whatever. But I don't know who I should target next. I mean, I have this incredible power now, and I should use it.
Oh, this is a television show, or at least a YouTube reel or something.
Yeah, I think so. All right. I don't want to film myself doing it. This would be incriminating and stuff. I'm not supposed to have this. I guarantee that.
Hey, man, put on the mask. Everybody else does.
Right. Yeah. All right. Speaking of people wearing masks, the people in the Middle East. All right. No, it's not that. Those are veils. That's different.
Totally different.
So let's shift our focus. Oh, where's my globe? Uh-oh. Pause.
Okay. All right. Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Okay. I have to talk too much.
We didn't have enough time. All right. So we like to talk. We use the globe as our way to describe things. So this is the. Yeah, there we go. This is the Middle East.
Gotcha.
Right. And this yellow guy, that's Iran. Right?
Gotcha.
The big purple dude right there, that's Saudi. Right.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of big guys. That's important. And all these little tiny dudes in the middle there, those are the Gulf Arab states, right? You got Kuwait and Bahrain and UAE and all that stuff. And then you got Oman and Yemen. Okay. So like basically since Trump and Bibi decided they were going to blow up the world, the Iranians are responding and they're shooting at everybody, and they are shooting at all the Gulf Arab states, including at UAE. And as we mentioned, so like the Dubai airport, which is the busiest in the world, is shut down, and that's drastically affecting air traffic going east and west, basically across the entire globe, both passenger and freight. It's a massive disruption to the global economy. But also a massive disruption is this tiny strip of water called the Strait of Hormuz, which this globe is too small really to see it. But if you look here, you see this look at this little tiny pink bit jutting out right there. And you see where the yellow guy has like a notch cut out. Looks like it used to be connected there.
Okay.
It used to be geologically. Well, that's like a really like about a mile and change wide strip. It's not that small, but it's really small, right? And Iran is on both sides of the Straits of Hormuz, and they can kind of control it. And one of the things that they have decided to do to retaliate against the United States and Israel is to shut that down. And you think, okay, well, who cares, right? But a fifth of the world's oil, something like 20% of the world's oil, and even more higher percentage of liquefied natural gas travels through there on big tankers. So without that, the global oil markets are massively disrupted. Right now, Brent crude is trading at $99.85 a barrel, which is down 61 cents from earlier, but still incredibly high by historic standards. We were over $100 a barrel earlier today. If we look at it over the last 6 months, right? It was before all of this kicked off, it was down at like let's see, what are we talking here? $70. Okay, and that was kind of high. That was getting up there, right? At the end of February, it was at $71 a barrel, going into the spring season. And then it jumped right when the attack started because, of course, now there's not going to be any oil. So, like, the world is freaking the fuck out about this, and there's not a lot that can be done. So the International Energy Agency on Wednesday announced that it would carry out its largest ever release of oil reserves. So one of the things you should probably know is that countries like the United States and various others, we have like oil storage,
Oh, yes.
And it's, if you want to think of like how this works, picture the dumbest version of it. And that's correct. basically they're big salt caverns along the US Gulf Coast. That's where they go. It's in like Louisiana and like Alabama and some other places. Big giant caves underground, and we fill them up full of oil.
Wow.
And just we're pretty sure they won't leak because they're made of
hoarding them, just hoarding. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's in America, it's called the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. And basically the way it works is like all the time there are ships full of oil, or in our case, maybe we're pumping it ourselves, and it's just getting routed into this storage, right? Into these giant underground. They're not tanks. You got to like, don't think of them as tanks. They're not man-made. They are just caverns underground that we were like, I don't care what's down there. It's going to be full of oil now. And yeah. And so every day, millions of gallons of oil get pumped into these things, and millions of gallons get pumped out, right? Because you have to keep it cycling, and it can't just sit there for all this time. But usually it's even Steven, right? Everything that gets put in gets taken out. It's the same. But when you're in trouble, you're supposed to use that as your like strategic reserves to stave off a shortage, right? Wow. So a bunch of countries have decided to release a bunch of that oil, and when they say release, that basically means they're going to not put in oil into their reserves. They're diverting that would have been otherwise put into the reserve and just let it out onto the market. How many barrels are they about to release?
You want me to guess?
Yeah, guess.
I'll say 100 million.
400 million. Now,
400 million.
Yeah, you're like, wow, that sounds like a lot of oil.
Yeah.
That's like 2% of what the world uses. Wow. In the same time period that they're going to release it. So it isn't really going to do much. And this idea that we can just like, well, we'll just tap our reserves until the Iranians learn to cool out. It's not going to work. Gas prices are still spiking. Around here, I've seen the prices go up by about 40 cents, I think, in the last 2 weeks. I don't know. What do you got around your way?
I think 370, 378.
Oh wow. Yeah, we were up about 330, 340 or something like that.
Wow.
On my side of town. So that's reflective. And it's a big problem. And it's a problem that people basically can't hide. So Trump has been trying to hide it. He went out on tour today and he's like, yeah, your gas prices are going to go up a little bit, but then they're going to come right back down. And it's like, you can't keep telling people that everything's fine when they drive past these giant lit up signs that are like, it's not fine. It's not fine. Like, right. What's the price of gas? Not fine. That's what the price of gas is.
That's what it says. The word's not fine, right?
Yeah. It goes like, it says regular unleaded, right? And it says like, the price, and then it goes like mid-grade, and it's good, and then it's got the premium. It goes, we're fucked. That's what it says. That's what the price is we're fucked.
Oh man, this motherfucker's literally gaslighting.
That's hilarious. It's bad. It's really bad. And the economy was already a bit shaky, right? Things weren't going so smooth. Turns out we lost jobs the last couple of months, didn't gain jobs. That's never good. It's that R word is creeping its little head out, and nobody likes it. Reality. No, that's not the R word. But for what it's worth, White Jerome did the thing, right? He saved us from the recession and created a soft landing that nobody had seen before. And the only way somebody could damage the success that White Jerome and the Fed had was to do something catastrophic to the entire world economy. And here comes this dumb motherfucker, and he's like, you know what? I can undo all this in an instant. And BB calls him. He goes, yo, we're going to bomb Iran. And he goes, yeah, all right, I'm down. Is it going to fuck up the world economy? And BB goes, oh, yeah.
Boy, is it.
The world economy. Yeah, boy, is it. He goes, all right, Let me see. Now, wait, can I get stuck in this for 1,000,000 years and never get out? BB's like, I hope so. And then
And they go,
yeah, right. Yeah. He did the evil laugh. Like living in a world with Bond villains running these fucking governments. Terrible.
oh my God, yo. Yeah.
So Trump told everybody that he could quit the war whenever he wanted to, like some sort of addict. And which is funny because like you don't get to choose that guy. He could take our stuff and go home, right? He could take the aircraft carriers, he could bring the planes home, he could stop shooting missiles at them. The Iranians are still going to be shooting at everybody else.
Oh hell yeah. You know, they have opened up a Pandora's box, man.
Yeah, or whatever her name is in Farsi. But yeah, they have just like they're not going to stop. They're going to keep shooting at Israel. Hezbollah is going to keep shooting at Israel. They're going to keep shooting at the oil fields. They're going to close the Straits of Hormuz. You don't get to choose to leave this, which is, I think, the thing that everybody before him understood when he's like, I'm the only one. None of the other presidents did it. Yeah, you idiot, because they understood the consequences. You're just too fucking stupid to know the difference.
Do you think that he got Iran and Iraq mixed up? Because, you know, Iraq is a relatively smaller country comparatively, and Iran is not to be toyed with.
Yeah, I don't think he knows they're a different place, to be honest. And it turns out that like all of his spokespeople, like Mark Wayne, has been out here not being able to keep the two straight himself for however long. Don't worry, he's a senator now, but he'll be secretary of DHS as soon as the vote happens.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's fine. At least he hasn't shot any puppies. He did hire a guy who was a convicted felon, and gave him a bunch of guns, though, at his plumbing shop, because he's a plumber. He's a plumber. Mark Wayne Mullen, before being a senator and a congressman, was a plumber and an MMA fighter. He's never served in the military. He has no government experience. He has absolutely no security experience or any idea what Homeland Security is. He runs copper and like digs ditches.
Yeah.
Not that there's a problem with that. That's literally my profession. But I am not qualified to run the Department of Homeland Security.
I mean, I feel like Trump loves tough guys or the guys who, you know, who carry that.
The big strong guy that comes up to him crying. Yeah.
He loves that, you know, that facade. He loves that. He loves that veneer. He got him. He got Hexeth. You know what I mean? He got these guys who, you know, who look like he wish he looked with his shirt off. And that's what we're stuck with. But it has nothing to do with anything other than he hires people according to looks.
He does. It's all about image with him. He always is referencing, he's right out of Central Casting. That's his favorite like line to describe somebody. So speaking of casting, right? You might say this isn't actually in the script here, but this is a story that I just was learning about earlier today. You know how in the beginning of the war, the Kuwaitis shot down some of our F-15s. They shot down 3 F-15s. All the crew ejected, and they're okay, but the planes are gone. And you might think like, well, why would our ally that is dependent on our interceptors and everything shoot at our airplanes? Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because nobody told them we were there. So like instead of in the beginning I was like, are they so stupid they forgot to deconflict with the airspace? It turns out, yes, that's exactly what happened. The Pentagon forgot to call the Kuwaitis and say, hey, we're about to fly over you and attack Iran. So the Kuwaitis were just like sitting there minding their business. And all of a sudden they got some incoming and they're like, oh shit, incoming, shoot it down. And they did successfully, which is good because it means our stuff works when they're using it.
Right.
But like, it was our stuff.
Isn't this happening a lot? Because I heard something else, like another one of our drones or something got shot down. You see, or am I? Is this the same thing?
Well, you might be thinking about the next thing that we're about to talk about, which
Okay.
is the elementary school that was blown up by a Tomahawk missile.
No. I feel like it was here, but
Oh, you're talking about the balloon incident at the Texas border?
perhaps yes. I think that was it. And then then the concept is that there was no intra-agency.
That's right.
Right, communication. Everybody's working like cowboys solo, and so whether you're here or with other countries, there's no communication and there's no protocol, man.
These guys are too stupid to bother to pick up the goddamn phone and call somebody.
It's wild, yo.
Isn't that crazy? Could you imagine doing anything of any significance without telling, like, if you're going to put up a fence, right? The first person you call is your neighbor with whom you share that line and be like, hey, man, I'm going to build a fence. Are you cool with that? Like that's a basic thing you do.
Oh, courtesy.
Yeah. Well, Pete Hegseth's big on courtesy. As long as that's the girl that he's never mind. Sorry, that's Chastity. You ever notice they're all named Chastity, right?
No Chastity.
No Chastity. All right, so let's talk about this school that got bombed, right? This is a bit serious here. So I think in the document here, there might be a graphic that Brian can pull up that's going to show like where this school is located relative to some other stuff. But basically, the thing you got to know is that it's right next to an Iranian military installation. I think it's maybe a naval base or something like that. But basically, it's a naval base. Years ago, the buildings that are now the girls' school were part of that naval base. Since then, there's been a lot of construction in that area. New walls have gone up, and those buildings have been sectioned off and very obviously been set up to be used as something else, including that they have like a little playground and ball field arranged in one of them. But what the U.S. intelligence didn't do was update that had happened. So either our intelligence didn't know that had changed in the last several years or didn't care that had changed in the last several years. So when they were going to select the targets for the initial attack on Iran, one of the things that they selected was this building, which is a school for children. Girls in particular.
I heard like parents were bringing their kids in at the time and just it's horrible, horrific, man.
Horrific, right? And one of the things that you need to know about the way that the United States can conduct airstrikes from a distance is we've got a lot of weapons that are specifically designed to be distance weapons, standoff, right? That we can fire and forget from so far away that we can't be hit. And that if the guidance systems get messed up or the communication to the munition gets messed up, it can still find its target. That's what we mean by smart weapons. And in particular, what we're talking about is the Tomahawk cruise missile. The Tomahawk cruise missile was developed by Raytheon. It's been in the U.S. arsenal since about the late 80s and early 90s. The first place any of us saw it used was in the Persian Gulf in the first war against Saddam Hussein. And that was the first time anybody had seen a Tomahawk launched in anger. And it's a cruise missile. So what a cruise missile is, it's a missile that flies mostly flat, right? It flies along the terrain. Mm-hmm. And what's unique about the Tomahawk is that it's self-guiding. So instead of needing to maintain a comm link to a satellite or anything like that, so, that could be jammed, it drives itself. It's got a rocket motor. It flies itself. It's got its own avionics on board, and it has ground following radar. So it can actually scan the ground in front of it and determine its height and follow the terrain and get to where it needs to go.
Okay.
And it's extremely accurate, like so accurate that you can do the proverbial pickle barrel from 50,000 feet or whatever.
Wow.
It can hit anything that you tell it to hit.
Right.
So the idea that it went astray or was accidentally hitting this target was pretty far-fetched in the first place. Then when it turns out that there was a lapse of intelligence update, that gets a little more into like, oh, we're just being lax about this and nobody's taking care, which is crazy because we're talking about a war. Imagine if they fucked this up, what else did they fuck up?
Oh man, yeah, you're right. And they're picking, they're picking fights that I don't think they realize it's going to be hard to, you know how you say you start a fight and then you end it. This is not one that I don't think they're going to be able to end. What's the Grand Supreme Leader right now?
Well, it's the son of the last guy.
Right. But he, my understanding is he lost so many family members. I think he lost his wife, his mother, father, and his son in an airstrike on the 28th of February, and he is a hardliner. Do you know what I mean? So, like, he's not going to let that go.
Nobody's going to let that go. That's the thing. It's like crazy. If you imagine if the shoe was on the other foot and somebody bombed the United States. Oh, I remember actually that did happen. Do you know what we did in response? We started a 20-year war and turned their country into a sheet of glass. What do you think they're going to do? They're not going to just be like, well, I guess you got us, America. They're going to be like, fuck that shit. We're going to fight to the last man standing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you?
Absolutely. And this is a country that has been preparing for a very long time because we have been threatening them for a very long time.
Right.
Like and 20 years.
And they know, right? They're not stupid. They have known for a long time that they weren't likely to win in an outright, draw battle lines and play risk kind of game, right? So they have been preparing for an asymmetrical response from the very beginning. One of the things that the United States has had to try to maintain through this entire build up to this thing that is happening now is some sort of moral superiority. Okay. Like Iran is the bad guys. Look at what they do to their own people. Iran is the bad guys. Look at what they do to other countries. Iran is the bad guys. Look at what they do to this, that, and the other. If we lose the moral high ground, it becomes a sort of a bullying, belligerent scenario where we're the big guys and we're trying to push somebody else around and steal their shit. Bombing a school full of little girls is a great way to lose the moral high ground. Here's some interesting info. It's not clear why the building was hit, but one person familiar with the school strike said that the building had been identified as a factory and had been approved for strikes. A second person familiar said that there was an arms depot located in the same area, but did not know if the United States hit the school by mistake or if U.S. officials had the wrong intel and thought that the building was the arms depot. And then it gets worse because it turns out maybe they use AI to determine what the targets should be.
Oh my God. See, that damn AI.
And we talked about this last week or maybe the week before that Anthropic's Claude, which is what the Defense Department is using and is working with Palantir's fuck all nonsense. They told the DOD like, hey, you can't use this for kinetic action. And DOD was like, we're going to use it for kinetic action or we're going to blow you up. Right. And Anthropic basically was like, okay. I don't know that this thing didn't make that decision on its own. Nobody knows. And we really need to be very, 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 very worried about this. This war is a bad war, right? This is not a good choice to go to war. There wasn't a reason to do it. Doesn't seem to be clear that there's any goal. So we don't know where this is going to go. But one of the things
I thought this was just an exercise, a military exercise.
Excursion, I believe, is the word that he currently landed on.
Right.
Until last week, he had never heard that word. But yeah, so it's not right. It's not a war. It's an excursion. It's an unfunded, unauthorized military strike with no use of force authorization from Congress, which according to Article 1 is the sole ability to declare war and raise an army. So whatever. But like what this also is the first real AI war, where AI is what we saw in what we're seeing in Ukraine is the first change in the way wars are fought, right? That it's all done by drone. People aren't really fighting that war. They're getting killed, but they aren't the ones, they're not in like hand-to-hand combat. There's nobody shooting at each other. It's all done over the horizon with drones. And now what we're seeing is now the AI is making the decisions. It's not just flying the things, it's actually making the decisions about what to hit. People should be much more worried about this. People should be worried that what Claude is doing in this war, whether it's being done at the direction of Pete Hegseth or Lil Marco or God knows whoever else, it's learning.
Yeah. I mean, but it's learning all the wrong things, and that's the scary part. Anybody who trusts AI because it's quick and convenient, forget that it's being programmed. You know what I mean? And that includes whoever's sitting behind there has societal prejudice. They have erroneous information, whatever it is being fed to them. You know what I mean? It just automatically can enter in flawed, but it's just carried as their marching orders, right?
Right.
And that, like, depending on what AI, the purpose of the AI, it can be policing, it can be it can be military operations, it can be in the grocery store. You know what I mean? Whether or not you get your food or not, things like that. That can affect your whole existence, man.
And so some of that is about like what gets programmed into it. But the other thing is these things are iterative. So it's learning, it's teaching itself by what happened, right? So Claude just saw that it was able to hit this girl's school and it learned how specifically to do that. If it decides that humans are the problem, it'll just use what it's learned to attack all of the humans, which is you and me and all of the other humans.
Yeah. Unless you have somebody, right. Unless there's somebody of any moral fortitude is going to sit there and tell it, oh, that was a mistake, that was incorrect, we don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
or to pull the plug if it gets out of line.
Absolutely, yeah.
But so that's a big problem. Israel's conducted more than 6,000 strikes on 3,400 targets, IDF official told the Washington Post. U.S. CENTCOM has overseen U.S. military operations in the Mideast, hit 5,500 targets as of Wednesday. So that's as of yesterday. According to 5 people familiar with the issue, both the Israeli and U.S. militaries are using Palantir's Maven, that's their product, to conduct operations. Maven is a battlefield intelligence platform. Keep in mind what Palantir is also the guys that like all the Doge people were feeding the information to. Okay. The US version is powered in part by Anthropic's AI called Claude. The head of CENTCOM, Admiral Brad Cooper, said Wednesday that the United States is, quote, leveraging a variety of AI tools to conduct the strikes. These systems help us sift through vast amounts of data in seconds so our leaders can cut through the noise and make smarter decisions faster than the enemy can react. Humans will always make the final decisions on what to shoot and what not to shoot and when to shoot, Cooper said. But advanced AI tools can turn processes that used to take hours and sometimes even days into seconds. So sure, maybe a person is like, yeah, let's go for it. But the AI is sliding them this list and going, hey, here's some stuff you can go ahead and shoot at. Who's checking that?
Oh my God. I told you before,
how can they check that?
Yeah, I mean,
how are they checking that?
They're not. I mean, I will say, to be, I guess, fair, the idea that AI is making the suggestions and not the final decisions is a little bit reassuring. I don't know if that it's slightly like slightly reassuring. Depending, it still depends on who's behind that trigger, right?
Right.
And that's still not very reassuring, considering who we've decided to put yeah, in these positions, man. Yeah. So
Very concerning. So that's what we actually know and what's really going on. But then there's this like weird Trump version of reality. Remember I explained like who the Tomahawk is made by? It's Raytheon. There's other companies that make it now under license, but it's a US product. There are a very small number of countries that have this because it's an extremely advanced weapon system that we don't just want to like sell to everybody. Sure, the US sells weapons to like lots of countries, right? You want to buy an M16, you're buying it from us, and we're going to sell you all the M16s you want. But most of the like high-tech stuff we really keep under very tight wraps. So countries that have and operate Tomahawks, before we get into the next thing, just so everybody knows, is the United States, Great Britain, Japan for some reason. I don't know what they're doing with Tomahawks, but I guess we sold them.
Had the technology, maybe. I mean,
we sold them the Tomahawks.
Okay.
They're not supposed to have a military of any kind, but they've got Tomahawk. I guess it's a defensive thing. Okay. So it's US, Great Britain, Japan, the Netherlands for some reason. I don't know what the Dutch are doing with the Tomahawks, and Australia. Those are the only countries that operate this. Notice that none of them are Iran. None of them are even France or Israel or any of these other very close allies that we would normally like sell stuff to, because we don't really trust them with that. We're not like the Israelis are our supposed like number one customer for all this military shit. And even them, we're like, we know exactly what you're going to do if we give you Tomahawks. So we're not doing that. So keep that in mind. You ready? So-called President Donald Trump is standing by his claim that Iran could possibly be responsible for a deadly missile strike on a girls' school, even as U.S. authorities say that they're still trying to determine who to blame. Trump said in a news conference Monday, and then has repeated this several times since, that Iran and other countries also use Tomahawk cruise missiles like the one that struck the school in southern Iran in the initial wave of the U.S. and Israeli assault on the country. Trump told reporters at Mar-a-Lago that he hadn't seen the video of the attack, which all of us have seen, which of course I know he has seen, which Iranian authorities said killed about 175 people, mostly children. Here's his quote. "Well, I haven't seen it, and I will say that the Tomahawk, which is one of the most powerful weapons around, is used by, is sold and used by other countries," he said. He then went on to say that Iran, quote, also has some Tomahawks, which he didn't rule out that they struck the school. But whether it's Iran or someone else, the fact is that a tomahawk is very generic. It's sold to other countries, but that's being investigated right now. No, it's not. And either he's breaking news that he sold Tomahawks to Iran, which is possible.
Man, this man utilizes a fucking buffet of lies. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just, because he has access to so many of them, so he just kind of pulls whenever it serves him. And we can see and hear the and know the truth, but many of us, we kind of gravitate towards whatever truth we we want to hear. So his followers are going to eat it up. But
yeah, I wonder about that. Do you think that the MAGAverse is like, oh yeah, Iran's got Tomahawks? You think that they bought
There's
that?
no way, yo, man, because if it weren't for this incident, he would claim with his chest out that we have weapons that nobody else has. And
right, of course.
We are the biggest and best and strongest, and we have right. So now that this has happened, he's gonna say, well, maybe it wasn't us. You know what I mean? Just like any other gangster.
Do you right? Do you think that over on Fox News that they are believing this?
No, but they're going along with it. They are capitulating. You know what I mean? They have an agenda that they must follow. They have a script, and I don't think that he's fooling anybody, but we all see this for what it is. We all see him for what he is, and we all hear the truth, and we know, we hear his lies and we know the truth. And I think that at this point, you've just chosen your side. You have chosen.
You've chosen a side regardless of the truth.
Regardless of the truth. I remember The Wire, watching The Wire, and the guy said, "Yo, man, if we're going to war, if we're going to war on a lie, then we're just going to go to war on a lie."
Okay.
You know, and then that's just the bottom line.
Do you think that the people who, like, I was one of the people who believed that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. I was convinced. I got fooled. Mostly because of what Colin Powell said. He sat there in the UN and pointed it out.
Dude, a lot of us fell for it. You know what I mean? If they present you a messenger that is palatable to you, then you'll eat it up, right? I mean, yeah, I did too.
Yeah,
you know,
my brain was like, if there's anybody that would know, it's this guy. He won the first war against these guys, and he would know more about this than anybody else, right? Yeah. If Colin Powell says they got WMDs, then they got WMDs, and we got to go kick their ass and take that shit away.
Right.
But I was able to quickly, upon new and better evidence, be like, oh, no. I got had. And it's hard to admit that.
It is. It is, you know, I mean, you're one of the rare few, because I think a lot of us, we carry this, this pride, this ego, this thing that, you know, refuses to learn. I was going to say refuse to learn, but maybe we learn, but we just refuse to acknowledge. I don't know what it is, but it's a very human thing. It is.
People hate admitting that they're wrong, or that they believe something that's wrong. I mean, a lot of people will just tell you, I never believed it in the first place, which is bullshit. They obviously went along with it. We all did. We like,
everybody loves Martin Luther King now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but like, he was public enemy number one.
Right. Yeah. According to Hoover. But so like, that's the thing is, it takes strength to admit when you're wrong and to admit when you've been had. Okay. And whether it's about WMDs or anything else, the Trump people have been incredibly, I think if strength is what's needed to say that, then the opposite of that is weak. They've been incredibly weak in their inability to say, all right, I fell for something that isn't true. And Trump has learned that he can continue to make the untrue thing more and more fantastic and ridiculous, and they will continue, out of fear of admitting that they got it wrong, to just keep going along with it. And at some point, he's going to claim that, yeah, I'm wearing a tuxedo, and he's going to be stark fucking naked, and they're all going to be like, yep, I see the tuxedo. And Stormy Daniels is going to be like, I told you it looks like a mushroom.
Oh my God. Yeah. It wasn't fit. I told you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That was too much. Yeah, man. Oh yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about all kinds of other stuff. We've got some felons doing felonious stuff. That's always a good time. Can't wait to talk to them, talk about that. And, we'll come back with the third half of the show. We're actually sort of on time tonight. Maybe Tez is the problem, Brian. Don't forget that. If we end up on time when Tez isn't here, and he always blames me.
Yeah. See, I'm in and out. See, I'm quick with it. Boom.
That's better at this. Sorry.
Your job is in jeopardy, Tez.
Yeah. Also, it's the ChipChat Derby this weekend, so we may not be friends come Saturday afternoon. We'll have to see how that game goes. But all right, so we're going to take a break. When we come back, more fun stuff. You're listening to ChipChat on Beltway Radio and beyond.
Woo! Go in the bathroom.
Something I did, playing tackle football. He's afraid to get hit. Put him in basketball. We tried to practice. His first game 3 motherfucking times. He shot in the wrong basket. Oh no, I still love him. That won't ever stop. I just might love him more if he had a jump shot. Oh, my son is not good at sports. My son is not good at sports. He don't got no arm. His handles are trash. Can't beat my jeans. I'm so fucking mad. Put him in baseball. He can't throw a lick. I know he's not good, but I'ma still blame the coach for this shit. He can learn coding skills. Chess club could be a star. I'm sure he'll find his field. It just won't be 100 yards. Oh, I still love him. That won't ever stop. I just might love him more if he had a jump shot. Oh, my son is not good at sports. My son is not good at sports.
All right, welcome back to Chip Chat here on Beltway Radio and Beyond. I'm your host, Chip. With me is Patrick, and that was one of Brian's weird AI stuff. That's yeah.
It'll be actually it will be it's a startup theme, meaning the fact that like later on there's a topic that kind of relates to that. So
Got it. Okay, so we've had the my son is not good at sports, and we had the white guys trying to holler at black girls song. So maybe we'll try to guess the theme if that all kind of comes together.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm down for the guessing game. We can go.
I think it's called Venus Williams's DMs, or maybe Serena's. She's probably better. Yeah. All right. It's Serena's DMs in song form. That's funny.
Serena's DMs. Yes.
My kids were like, what is this ad she's doing, about the GLP-1 stuff? And I'm like, I don't think you understand how much better at tennis she is than the whole rest of the world, like for so long. And they're like, well, why is she taking this? Why doesn't she just lose weight? And I'm like, no, you're not getting it. She's the best at this in the world by a mile. And if even she needs this help, then it's okay for the rest of the people to get it. That's what they're saying to you. And they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I didn't even get into like that she won Grand Slams while pregnant. Like, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah, wait, when was that? Wait, hold on. Wait, I'm trying to remember. That was,
I think Brian's probably going to know, but I think she won. It was maybe a US Open, and she was like 2 months pregnant or 3 months pregnant or something like that. It was.
I believe it. I believe it. No, I believe it. I'm sure I was distracted.
Yeah, I'm sure you were. But Serena is one of those like once in a generation, once in a lifetime kind of athletes that is just like changes the game in a profound way that nobody.
And no slight against her sister, because her sister's dope too, but it's just the fact that she
she had a career that long. It used to be that, like, especially in women's tennis, right? They'd start when they're 16 and they're aged out by the time they're 26, 27. And she was playing like till she was 40 and winning.
Yeah, which is nuts for an athlete in any sport.
In any sport.
Yeah.
Unless they're juicing and being Roger Clemens. All right. So, never getting in the hall that way there, Raj. So let's talk about this one. This is called the Rundown. It's a special edition, but this is the Rundown, right? So this is when I tell you about some stuff that's going on in the news.
Okay. Let's
if
go.
we were professionals, it would sound a little something like this.
Go Blue.
Thank you, bro. Yes.
From Beltway Radio and beyond in Washington, D.C., I'm Emmy-nominated TV newsman and just bona fide sexual beast, J. Scott Smith. And this is the part of the show where I tell some stuff about well, maybe not me, but somebody else is going to tell some stuff about what's happening in the news. So what's going on in the news, fellas?
Thanks, Jay. Check them out. Channel 4 in Detroit. Also, shout out in Detroit to my fellow tribes people. Rough day today. The synagogue got attacked. So,
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of very fine people out there.
Sheesh.
Yeah. We're going to be fine. We've always made it, kind of. Okay. So this is in Georgia. Now, you know how like the Republicans are always keen on voter fraud? They're like, hey, we got a lot of this voter fraud and we got to stop, right?
Particularly in Georgia for some reason.
Particularly in Georgia and particularly in certain parts of Georgia. But they're really bad at finding any evidence of it. They just can't seem to like actually catch it in the act. They're sure it's happening. They're very sure it's happening.
Oh man, yeah, they know it.
But it's just they can't find any evidence of it. Well, guess what?
What?
We found the evidence. You ready? All right. A judge ruled this week that a top Georgia Republican Party official who has promoted former President Donald Trump's claim, that was when he was former president, of widespread voter fraud, he did the voter fraud. So Trump is like, oh yeah, in 2020 there was voter fraud, and that's why I lost in Georgia, right? Brian Pritchard, the vice chairman of the Georgia Republican Party and a conservative talk show host, was fined $5,000 for voting illegally and registering to vote while serving a sentence for a felony conviction.
God damn.
Yeah. Pritchard was also ordered not to commit further violations, to face public reprimand for his conduct, and to pay the state election board investigation costs. Now, like right now, there's a bill in Congress that Trump has said he won't sign anything else until he gets to sign this bill that is all about making access to voting harder. And it's about, you can't vote if you're a convicted felon. You can't vote if Trump's a convicted felon, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
You can't vote if you're not a citizen. All of these things already exist. And here's a good example of where this law already works. If you vote illegally, you will be punished for it, which is why people don't do it. Seems like there's like a low reward, so low. One person vote can't affect like enough of anything to take the risk to like get locked up for the rest of your life. It's not like robbing a bank where like you might get away with it and get the money, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, in a 25-page ruling Wednesday, administrative law judge Lisa Boggs affirmed the board's finding that Pritchard had voted illegally 9 times.
Oh, God.
9 times in defiance of his extended probation in connection to a pair of felony convictions dating back nearly 30 years.
Wow.
He was initially sentenced in 1996 to 3 years probation in connection with felony forgery in Pennsylvania. So he was up in Pennsylvania cheating and forging and lying, right? Then he gets convicted of it. He moved to Georgia. His probation was revoked 3 times. In 1999, when he moved to Georgia, again in 2002 and in 2004, a judge in 2004 imposed a new 7-year probation on him.
Okay.
Which made Pritchard ineligible to vote in that state until 2011. In 2008, Pritchard filled out a voter registration form in the Gilmer County Board of Elections and signed a sworn statement asserting, quote, that he was not serving a sentence for having been convicted of a felony involving moral turpitude. So he signed and said, I am, and that's the thing, right? There's already the form. You have to swear on this form that you are not a convicted felon. If you are and you vote, look at what happens to you. You go to jail. Okay.
This dude deserved, to do a little bit of time at least.
Yeah. He cast a series of Georgia ballots, including 4 that year in a primary and general elections and runoffs, and 5 more in 2010 in special elections and primaries and the general election. He testified that he was, quote, not aware of anything that would have prevented him from registering to vote when he signed the application, and that he believed 3 years of probation remained on his sentence. He didn't believe that 3 years of probation remained on his sentence, according to the court documents.
Yeah, he lost track of time. That's all.
He's like, I did enough. I'm good now.
No, hey, no, you know what I mean? Yeah.
The judge's ruling said that upon, quote, upon careful consideration of the evidence in its totality, the court does not find the respondent's explanations credible or convincing. At the very least, even if the court accepts that he didn't know about his felony sentences, the record before this court demonstrates that he should have known.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, I mean, I feel like they did their job. I mean, I don't know who the governor was. I think the governor it wasn't Kemp.
No, that would have been Purdue, I think. Sonny Purdue.
Oh, yeah. He looked like a he looked like the colonel. He liked the colonel.
Yeah.
That guy.
The thing that I think is so funny is that it's like every accusation is an admission. And
with Trump and with his ilk, definitely, always.
It just seems like a weird thing to, like, if you know you're not supposed to be doing a specific thing, and it's not a thing that's like a common thing, right? Like, if you're not supposed to be going to McDonald's, all right, a lot of people go to McDonald's. That might like put a little hitch in your giddy up and like cramp your style a little bit, but you could probably get around it. Voting is a thing that happens so infrequently that if you were barred from doing it for a little while, it couldn't possibly affect your life in any serious way.
Right. So why are you so invested in doing it and doing it illegally and doing it so many times repeatedly?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
You know that it's illegal to do it and you're going to get your stuff back. Like, wait it out, man. Like,
but you believe somehow that your vote, I mean, we've been taught though that your vote matters. This motherfucker took it to heart.
He thought that his vote mattered enough that he was willing to break the law to do it. Number one. Number two, he thought that probation didn't apply to him because he felt like he was just done with it or something. I don't know. It's crazy to me.
Yeah. And he did it 9 times.
And he's a vice chair of the party. So it's not like he's disconnected from this. There are people who end up accidentally voting when they shouldn't, right? Mm-hmm. You hear those stories every now and then. This guy knew what the fuck he was doing. He did it on purpose. He lied on the form.
Yeah. And I don't know. Maybe he thought, because of his, because of his party, because of his association, that he was going to be.
He thought protected. Because of his connections, he was going to get away with it.
He was going to be protected. Yeah, maybe he thought he was going to be protected. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. So speaking of protection, people like guns for protection, right? Well, there's a group of people who ought not have guns, right? Now, we talked about felons voting. Felons also not supposed to own guns. There's a whole big thing about that, right?
Absolutely.
When you're convicted of a felony, you lose certain rights, even rights that are granted to you by the Constitution. Sometimes those rights are like voting, right? For example, sometimes those rights are to keep and bear arms. You don't lose free speech. You can never lose that, right? Even if you're in prison, you still have free speech. It's more limited, but you can still like write an op-ed for the New York Times if you wanted to.
Right.
And you'd never lose your right to not have to quarter soldiers. That one's never going to go away, right? Third Amendment's going to be good. You're never going to lose your right to self, Fifth Amendment and not have to self-incriminate. You never have to talk. Those things can't be taken away from you. But Second Amendment rights can, because they're special. A gun,
very special.
A gun is a very dangerous thing, right? And so if you've been convicted of a felony, specifically of a violent felony, we might really not want you to have a gun for various reasons. So states have rules like that, and the feds have rules like that. Until right now. Last month, the Department of Justice quietly published a list of 22 names in the Federal Register. With little explanation or fanfare, the department announced that these particular individuals had their federal gun rights restored. Now, let's just talk about what that means, like, very briefly.
Okay.
When the government goes to do anything, right, whether it's at an agency level or, a bigger, grander thing, they have to publish that they're doing it in the Federal Register, and that's when it goes into effect. So, like, they can make all the schemes and plans they want, but it doesn't happen until they hit send, right?
Okay.
And so now sometimes what they're doing is something that they're really proud of, and so they make a big deal of it. As they hit send, they also call a press conference or whatever. Sometimes what they're doing is something that they know is going to get them in a lot of trouble and that is unpopular with the general public, and so they just publish it and hope that the flood of all the stuff that's getting published, people like kind of lose track of it in the middle of it.
Gotcha.
But of course, there are dedicated people, reporters, and now probably AI that just reads this Federal Register all the time looking for anything interesting. And, well, they found it. Most of these people who just got their federal gun rights restored, still having been convicted of a felony, they had something in common. Decade-old felony convictions. And many of them had been charged long ago and had lived for years without access to their firearms. So they had basically kind of made peace with it. And those guys, should they have their guns back? Maybe, maybe not. It's not that big a deal, right? It's not that many people.
Right.
There's one exception, which is a much more recent change. Republican Arizona State Senator Jack Hoffman, who was indicted in 2024 for being a fake elector in 2020 and was one of dozens of people that was convicted, and then Trump pardoned him in November.
Okay, so wait, so just to make sure, was he a senator at the same time that his rights were revoked?
Yes, he's a state senator in Arizona, and what happened, if you can remember back in the election in 2020, right? Because the groups of Republicans in various states, Arizona included, just refused to believe the outcome of the election. They appointed themselves electors, meaning representatives, to go to the electoral college as if they had won, even though they hadn't, which meant that they broke the law a lot of times,
so to speak.
Yeah, they basically forged documents saying that they were the legitimate electors without that being true. So they're committing perjury and forgery and all kinds of other federal crimes and state crimes on each of these documents that they signed, dozens and dozens and dozens of them.
Wow.
And they sent, however many electors Arizona gets. I think they get 11 or 12.
That makes sense. Yo, that makes sense to me. Yo, take your guns. Man, if you did not follow the rules and the will of the people who voted, you know what I mean, and then you took it upon yourself to try to waltz in and be like, yo, I'm representing and then you definitely don't need a firearm. I'm sorry, just go ahead. Go ahead.
No, that's exactly right. Basically, what he did was commit a paperwork version of an insurrection, right? Tried to subvert the will of the people and overthrow the rule of law and the federal government. And, so no, you shouldn't have your guns, right? But he also donated a bunch of money to the Trump campaign. And so the Trump people basically got in power and gave him his gun rights back, which is a thing that they can do. But it does raise some questions. And it it's an interesting thing here, and it's a thing that I do want to bring up, Mel Gibson got his gun rights back in a similar fashion after battering his girlfriend.
Not
for example.
Mad Max.
Yeah, Mad Max had his guns taken away.
What?
Yeah, he's not even American, and he had gun rights. He's a goddamn Aussie. But like, what's this precedent? What are we setting here? You know who else got a lot of convictions and then were pardoned by Trump, just like this guy?
Oh, who?
All those January 6th motherfuckers. And a lot of them are big gun nuts. And a lot of them currently are still carrying around a felony conviction and have not had their gun rights restored necessarily. Maybe their federal gun rights maybe we know haven't been restored. And depending on what state they live in, whether they get them back there or not. If you are, go ahead.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I was going to ask. I mean, if they didn't get their gun rights restored, did they get a job? Did any of them get a job?
Well, some of them have gotten jobs. One of them, in fact, got a job in the FBI. Enforcing the law.
Okay.
Yeah. Or DOJ, maybe, not the FBI. But, same
all right. Yeah. All right. Carry on.
So let's say you're a president who, or a, convicted felon who wants to like cling to power no matter what, because you're very worried about the consequences when you're out of power. Might be nice to have kind of like a standing army or a little militia of people who are willing to do anything for you. And, they're not as effective if they're unarmed. So what might you be doing?
Right. They're going to hold hands and sing Kumbaya in your defense. That's not going to work.
No. Right. So, yeah, I think this is the precursor. Now, they got caught red-handed, right? So they might not do it again for a little while. But we've talked about on the show before, the whole pardoning them was about giving them license to be ready for him to call them into action again whenever he wants them. And now he's going to make sure that they get their guns back. And we're not talking about just a few hundred people here. We're talking about thousands of people who were convicted of doing a thing that they all did and that they're proud that they did and that they filmed themselves doing and live streamed it all to everybody on their fucking Twitter pages or whatever.
Right.
Those guys, thousands of them who are willing soldiers in Trump's personal army, are likely to get all their guns. So just saying.
Wow.
Watch.
I believe the number was that they're in the area of 7,000 to 10,000 people.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of people. And, but the Second Amendment, just to be very clear, applies to all of us. So, unless you're a convicted felon.
Yeah. No comment. I'm not going to,
I mean, your rights exist. How you exercise them is up to you. But I'm just saying, you got rights.
Yeah. I got a gun. You got a gun. We all got guns.
Right. Let's all cool the fuck out for a little while. Huh?
Yeah.
You want to see too? Okay. Yeah. Matter of fact, why don't we just go and like talk about how much we love?
Let's talk this out. Let's talk this out. How about we just talk? Let's go talk.
Don't make me get my tomahawk.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So there you go. Now, NPR broke that story. So congratulations to them. Despite the Republicans attempting to defund them, they're still out here doing good work.
Yes, that's right. Shout out to De La in their tiny desk.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool, man. Everything on the tiny desk is cool, but that was particularly cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And I've been bumping that record since I got the hard copy at the end of January. So that's good. Cabin in the Skies, good record. I recommend it. Go get it.
Yeah, NPR is still in there, man.
A lot of talent on that thing. Okay, here's what we'll do. Since Brian's got a theme going, we're gonna take a break.
Okay.
And then we're gonna come back and talk about the Trump lawyers that aren't, and then we'll finish out the show in one fell swoop. and we'll see how that all goes. Unless Brian's up to something else, you never know with him.
Come on, Brian.
You can't trust those producer guys that say
I'm here for it. Yeah. Those.
He's up to it. We don't know. All right, so we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about lawyers. You're listening to Chip Chat on Beltway Radio and beyond.
Woo!
Street balls.
I'm sick of all these witches and warlocks. You're full of shit. Pumpkin possums. I'm sick of it.
You keep interrupting me.
And all of it's lies. Because you're lying. That's why. Oh, there's energy and now we're done with Trump. You said he was the Messiah. You said he was invincible. I will not suffer your Q people after this. I knew what you were day one. I know what you are now. Witches and warlocks. You're full of shit. Pumpkin possums. I'm sick of it.
You keep interrupting me.
And all of it's lies. Because you're lying. That's why every goddamn thing out of your people's mouths doesn't come true. You said it was all over. You told us the stuff. You. Oh, God. Witches and warlocks, you're full of shit. Pumpkin possums, I'm sick of it.
You keep interrupting me.
And all of it's lies. Because you're lying. That's why. Witches and warlocks, you're full of shit. Pumpkin possums, I'm sick of it.
You keep interrupting me.
And all of it's lies. Because you're lying. That's why. Because every god thing.
All right, welcome back to Chip Chat here on Beltway Radio and beyond. I'm here
Loving it.
with me is Patrick.
Witches and warlocks.
Yes.
Full of it.
Yeah. Now, since Tez isn't here, we'll do the thing for him. Every time we play Alex Jones and laugh at him, we feel bad about platforming him in any way. So we want to make up for that by telling people to go to sandyhookpromise.org and please donate to try to offset and help fix the damage that fucking raving lunatic has caused. So there you go. That's our public service announcement for today.
Yes.
All right, let's get on to a topic that I think is one of Brian's favorite topics because he does seem to come up with some of the best images for these kinds of things. You may remember that we have covered on this show several times that Trump's appointees to these U.S. attorneys' offices turn out not to be qualified in various reasons or another. In some cases, it's because they're not lawyers. And in other cases, it's because they're not appointed correctly, or they overstay their time, or they are not confirmed, and so they got to go. So we've talked about this office in New Jersey. Did you know that there were lawyers in New Jersey? And yeah, who would have thought, right? Uh-oh, Patrick muted again. He's gone.
My bad. I was gonna say definitely lawyers. What was the movie where he's like, my biological clock is bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, there you go. See,
what was the movie?
I don't know.
It was the one with Joe Pesci.
Where he's a lawyer. My cousin Vinny.
My cousin Vinny.
Yeah. There you go. That's true. Yes, right.
He's a lawyer from Jersey.
From Jersey. Yeah, that's how you gotta say it, right? From Jersey. All right. So anyway, in the great state of New Jersey, the Garden State, the home state of my father, there are lawyers, and there's a U.S. Attorney's office in New Jersey, and they have had trouble filling this spot. Now, initially, Trump filled it with Alina Habba, who you might remember is one of his personal lawyers that tried to defend him and lost pitifully in the E. Jean Carroll lawsuits where Trump, raped her and had to pay $12 million or whatever. She was such a good lawyer that she got hired to be the U.S. attorney as a result of that. But the problem was she wasn't appointed. And then she overstayed her interim time, and then she got kicked out, right? Since then, they haven't been able to figure out who's going to run this office, and they can't appoint anybody who can get confirmed, or they refuse to appoint anybody who can get confirmed. And so they did a really crazy thing. Okay, I'm just going to read you this story. A federal judge ruled Monday that the three attorneys currently leading the U.S. Attorney's Office in New Jersey are all serving unlawfully, escalating the Trump administration's long-running dispute over who can legally run the federal prosecutor's office in that state. So these are 3 people doing one person's job. Yep, there they are. Ari Fontecchio, Jordan Fox, and Philip, spelled the weirdest way, Lamparello. If you got to be New Jersey, put that back up. There you go. Fontecchio and Lamparello. That's a New Jersey law firm. All right. So U.S. District Judge Matthew Brand issued a 130-page opinion disqualifying Senior Counsel Philip Lamparello, Executive Assistant U.S. Attorney Ari Fontecchio, and Special Attorney Jordan Fox. The trio had been installed to divide the responsibilities of the U.S. Attorney's role after former acting U.S. Attorney Alina Habba had stepped down in December.
Oh, she's hot.
Yeah, she's the smoke show, right? That's why Trump likes her. Don't worry, there's more about her later. Brand, who was an Obama appointee and a Pennsylvania judge, was presiding over this because the New Jersey judges might have a conflict of interest. The way it works is if the U.S. attorney can't serve, right, their deputy serves. But if their deputy can't serve, then the judges of that district, the federal judges of that district, can appoint somebody to be the U.S. attorney for that time period. And Habba didn't like that. So what they did was they fired her and appointed her own deputy at the same time, and then had her serve in as the acting after the interim was not. And so the interim has only got 120 days after that. They either have to be extended by the federal judges in the district, or a new person has to be appointed and confirmed. And during that period of time, there can be an acting, which is deputy of the interim. But that's got to be with the consent of those federal judges in that district. None of that happened. Okay. So this is like the 3rd district where this is happening, including the Eastern District of Virginia, which is why the cases against Comey and Tish James fell apart, because again, these people cannot get out of their own way. They just refuse to do laws. I don't know why laws are bad, but they're like, we won't do laws.
No laws.
No rules around here. Rules in a knife fight. Yeah. The decision marks the 2nd time in less than a year that Brand has ruled that the office's leadership was unlawfully appointed. Last summer, he determined that Alina Habba, a former personal lawyer for Trump, lacked legal authority to serve as the acting U.S. attorney, and the appeals court later upheld that ruling. After Habba's departure, Pam Bondi, who I think thinks she's a lawyer, appointed Lamparello, Fontecchio, and Fox to collectively handle the responsibilities. Brand ruled Monday that dividing the position among 3 officials violated the Constitution's appointments clause. Yeah, you think? Quote, the government assembles a convoluted patchwork of statutory cross-references to craft a leadership structure that it contends can do anything a U.S. attorney can without being a U.S. attorney.
Oh, that is a great explanation, though. I love that.
Yeah, why not? It's not like Captain Planet. By your powers combined, I am U.S. attorney for the district in New Jersey.
I can do whatever I want.
Yeah. Making up lies. So don't worry, though. Habba had something to say about this. Another ridiculous ruling from Judge Brand disqualifying 3 individuals serving New Jersey's DOJ front office of the U.S. attorney. Judges may continue to try and stop President Trump from carrying out what the American people voted for, but we will not be deterred. The unconstitutionality of this complete overreach into the executive branch time and time again will not succeed. Well, so far has succeeded. Mm-hmm. They would rather have no U.S. attorney than safety for the people of New Jersey. Judges, do not fire DOJ officials. AG Pam Bondi and POTUS to get in line.
Wow.
Fiery statement.
That was strong.
That was a lot of words. You know why she had so much time to write all these words?
Why?
I want to challenge you to read this next story in your best Robin Leach voice. Do you remember what he sounded like? The Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous guy?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Let me try.
Go for it.
Alina Habba, the former acting New Jersey U.S. attorney and one-time personal lawyer for President Trump, divorced her millionaire husband after nearly 6 years of marriage and relocated to Palm Beach. The Post confirmed the brunette firebrand 41 called it quits with hubby Greg Rubin sometime after she resigned from her role as the Garden State's top federal prosecutor in early December, friends of hers revealed on Tuesday. Habba, who rose from prominence after Trump hired her in 2021, headed for the greener pastures of Palm Beach, Florida, a short ways from the president's Mar-a-Lago resort. Huh? Is that good? All right.
So good.
Pals of the glamorous former fashion executive said Habba is better off following the split. Is better off following the split. Sorry, she's a self-made lawyer who fought her way to the top, a devoted mom, and someone who refuses to dim her personality to satisfy critics. One friend said, even when life throws personal challenges her way, Habba is a strong woman who was lucky enough to leave a man not worth sharing a life with. Huh?
An incredible statement.
That is pretty dope. Alina is constantly working and running, traveling. The woman doesn't stop. I've never seen anything quite like it. She's a machine. The source added. Neither source indicated that Habba had found a new beau. I'll get in line.
Yeah, right. I'm sure
there's more.
Yeah.
The second source said they were excited for Habba to find someone who can reciprocate and supplement her industrious energy, a sector where Rubin was apparently lackluster.
Yes, that's the line right there.
No, that's pretty dope, yo.
You know what that means, of course, but nothing a little blue pill can't fix. This is actually her second divorce, by the way.
Yo, man, we on the same page. I'm with it. Yo, I'm here.
And she has 3 kids.
Yo.
However,
one of them is Trump's draft age. So
right.
Ooh, stop, Brian. No, stop it.
Only one of them's hers. The other 2 are her stepkids, I think.
Oh,
from Rubin.
Okay, so there's a little bit of a twist there. All right.
Yeah. I mean, she cuts a path of destruction behind her. Obviously,
she does. Okay, yeah. We're gonna avoid that. I got enough.
You want to be the next notch in the bedpost? I'm sure you could be, but
and I got enough stress in my life. That's cool.
Yeah. I don't want to be associated with any fake lawyers.
Yeah, right.
I don't care what they look like.
Wow.
She's a fraud. Everything about her is a fraud. She's none of the things that she says she is, and she's bad at the things that she claims to be. Okay.
The lawyers, man.
Yeah. Air quote lawyers.
Oh,
all right.
Lawyers.
Let's talk about wasting time with college. Now, look, before we get into that, we want to say we're not like casting aspersions on people who go to college, right? I think that college is a worthwhile use of your time, especially if you're studying something that you're passionate about, and hopefully, leads to a fulfilling life and career and all of those kinds of things.
Absolutely. You have to do it as cheaply as possible, but yes.
Right. And knowledge is knowledge, right? They can never take that away from you. So if you learn it, retain it, right? That's great. You can learn it a lot of ways. That's fine too. It's
absolutely. Life is college.
Yeah. So I'm not saying higher education is bad. I'm not saying it's the only option either. I want people to be able to make, their own life put together. I happen to work at a university currently, so I'm a big fan of higher ed, and not just because they pay me, but because I do see the promise, right? I see those kids walking around campus, and I look at them and I go, oh, that's our future, right?
Hey,
so
yeah.
I'm very proud of what they're doing, and I try my very best to read the posters on the walls in the various buildings and understand every third word or whatever. I'm trying.
Yeah, hey man, look, we've all played the board game, the game of life, and it laid it out beautifully. You know what I mean? So you have options, and hopefully you make the right choice.
There are many paths. Nothing will make you feel dumber than walking around in a science building at a real university. just saying. There's a lot of big words in that chemistry department. All right. So, but let's talk about this. So there is there's a U.S. Department of Education kind of currently. And and then there is also a thing called the GAO, which is the Government Accountability Office. It used to be the General Accounting Office. The GAO is a congressional agency, and their job is to audit stuff and check and see if it's working and report that back to Congress. They're called the watchdogs. I know this because my dad worked there for 30 years. And basically, they'll do things like test stuff. One of the things they got kind of famous for was like sneaking contraband through the TSA to see if the TSA was any good at their job. And the answer is no. They got 90% of the stuff that they brought in, including a bunch of guns, through the TSA checkpoints.
Wow.
Yeah. Way to go, GAO. So they went to go check some stuff with the student loans. Here's how this works. Student loans are backed by the federal government, but they're run by private student loan servicers. Those are companies whose job it is to basically handle the money. They collect the money from the repayments. They're the ones who pay the schools for the loans and all of that stuff. And they collect a fee, for doing that, right? Which is paid for by the students and the government together. And they're not the ones holding the loan, though. The government holds the loan, right? So those companies take almost no risk. They're not in any trouble if things go bad, right? They're going to get paid regardless. But there is some oversight, and the education department is supposed to watch over them to make sure that they're executing on what the feds are paying them to do, which is to run the loan program, right? Well, GAO went to go check that. GAO investigators found in February of 2025 that the Office of Federal Student Aid, the FSA, stopped reviewing the accuracy of the loan servicers' records. FSA also stopped reviewing recordings of calls with borrowers to make sure that they're being given accurate information. So the agency that is supposed to watch these servicers wasn't watching them. And you want to know why?
Why?
Because there's nobody working there anymore.
What happened? Wait. Okay, so explain.
The Office of Federal Student Aid is supposed to conduct quarterly reviews according to its contracts with the loan servicers. These reviews include comparing loan servicers' borrowing records with FSA's own records to screen for gaps or discrepancies, as well as targeted reviews of borrowers in specific situations, including those who request temporary relief from their payments, right?
Okay.
That's like government oversight, right? That's the thing it should be doing. The assessments that were stopped, they're not doing them, are more labor intensive than other types of oversight that have been automated, the GAO says. According to the report, agency officials told the government watchdog that they stopped these reviews in early 2025 due to a lack of staffing. What do you think happened there?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's wow.
According to the report, FSA began 2025 with a little over 1,400 staffers, and by December it had 777, a 46% reduction. So half of their workforce, whose job it was to watch the money, isn't there watching the money. And it's because they got doged, and because the Trump administration wants there not to be a Department of Education, and they fired half the staff. But the money is still moving, but there's nobody watching it. So these loan servicer guys could be telling people any kind of fucking thing, stealing all the money, collecting all the money, putting borrowers into bankruptcy or ruining their lives and credit, even when they're eligible for repayment or even when they're eligible for forgiveness, and nobody's watching.
No oversight.
No oversight. That's your government efficiency right there, Elon.
Wow.
If there's anything you got to do, it's to watch the fucking money. Like, the most basic function of the government is to not make things worse. That's like, just don't make it worse. Don't let the bad guys steal more shit.
That's the baseline. Don't make it worse.
Don't make it worse. When they fire all the IRS staff, guess what happens? People stop paying their taxes because they know they're going to get away with it because there's nobody watching the money.
Wow.
I like money. Do you like money, Pat?
I love it.
Yeah. What do you do with your money?
Yeah, man. I take care of my people with it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I watch it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you watch it. Yeah.
I don't lose sight of my money. I watch the money. Like a hawk. Okay. Speaking of hawks. Okay.
Man.
College athletics. Now, there's a lot of teams that are named Hawks or Hawk something, like Iowa Hawkeyes, which is a weird name. College athletics is an important thing. I'm wearing a Michigan hat right now, right? I love college sports. Brian loves college sports. Brian's made a whole career out of college sports, right, Brian?
Yep.
Yeah. What were you doing? You were.
Oh, I work in their, how you interpret this? So the games that you see ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
So pretty much some of the games, George Washington, George Mason, and American, I help with that production. So, and there's some national games as well. I sort of either directed or was a part of those things.
Okay.
So when you hear that, that was Brian.
Yes, and there's been some games where some highlights were on ESPN's top 10. So
there you go.
So yeah.
See, so Brian loves college sports. I love college sports.
Okay.
Trump seems to be aware that they exist, which is a problem because he's going to get involved.
As soon as he becomes aware there's something.
Yeah. That's
right.
Best thing we could have done is just kept that shit quiet. JD Vance already broke the trophy when he was partying with those lunatics from Ohio.
Oh, wow.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
White House Roundtable spent nearly 2 hours discussing the future of college athletics on Friday afternoon. This was last week. That's an incredible photo.
It really is, yeah.
What is he doing
He's
to that
concentrating
baseball?
so hard. He's concentrating so hard on that ball.
Is he catching that baseball?
Yeah.
Or is he letting it go and flying to its freedom? Be free, little baseball. What? Okay. This dude can't do anything. All right. The conversation was led by Trump and featured the most prominent political and college sports leaders in the country, including like Nick Saban and all of those guys. Don't worry. Also, somehow Ted Cruz.
What? Okay.
Yeah, the only sport Ted Cruz has ever played is nachos. The meeting started with repeated acknowledgement of many of the challenges facing the industry and ended with a frustrated Trump railing against Senate Democrats and the court system. You know,
of course.
The things that are relevant. Trump also promised to produce an executive order in the next week because that's the only way to get these things solved. He did not do that. Of course he did. So I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write an executive order based on many of the sentiments made, many of the sentiments I've been hearing over the last year about what a disaster this is for colleges, the players, the families, ruining everything, he said. Yes.
Everybody.
Now, what was he upset about?
What?
Okay. All right. I think he's been watching again his typical Fox News.
Yes.
Okay.
And pretty much again, everyone's been complaining about the NIL and how it's really been ruining whatever, college sports in general.
Yes.
I mildly agree with that to a point. But
everybody does.
But for him, having his opening statements or one of the highlight of his statement saying that women's sports is dwindling, which is complete utter bullshit.
Growing.
I mean, it's just like, dude, it's thriving, and especially in college sports. Now, unfortunately, when it comes to these NIL deals, I've noticed that in the last couple of weeks, there have been certain schools have gotten rid of their gymnastic program, which is mainly with a lot of women on it.
Right.
So I can understand it up to that point, because especially when it comes to big name schools and big name conferences. But you forget the fact is like, okay, this is run by pretty much either college basketball or college football. And that's where the NIL money has been going to and is causing all this crazy drama. The main reason I put this on the docket, so to speak, is this. Like you said, it happened on a Saturday for
when we
2
should all been
hours.
watching college sports.
Not just that. Last I remember, early in the week, didn't he start something like a nice little what was it again? We called it an
Excursion.
An excursion.
He did
Yes.
this meeting while he should have been paying attention to the war.
Right. So you took 2 hours.
Get the fuck
to bring in a
here.
whole bunch of people. Keep this in mind. Mind you, the video, the picture I posted is a little distracted with him trying to God knows what with that baseball. But majority of the people who were in that place, let's see, none of them were college students. None of them were college administrators. You had 2 former college coaches. I'll give you that.
Yeah, you had Lil Marco, for some reason, Ron DeSantis, New York Yankees president Randy Levine,
Why?
Speaker of the House Mike Johnson.
Mike Johnson was right next to him. Yeah.
Yeah, and Ted Cruz was also in attendance. NCAA President Charlie Baker was there,
which
along
you
with,
should be there, which I could agree, man.
sure,
Yeah.
several conference commissioners, university athletic directors, and presidents. All of that part makes sense. Former college football coaches Nick Saban and for some reason Urban Meyer.
Right. Disgrace Urban Meyer.
Yeah. Okay. They were there, as was Adam Silver of the NBA, and Representative Lori Trahan, a Democrat from Massachusetts, was the only elected Democrat featured.
Okay. So you have a whole bunch of, except for Condoleezza, for whatever reason she's there, because she's part owner of some sports franchise. But still, it's like you have a whole bunch of white people,
right?
Issues with college sports that
Men
you
too,
have none of those people are connected to, except maybe a few NCAA people who should be there. But the main thing here is like you have a freaking sitting president who again is distracting himself from something that he should be importantly doing, that he caused.
Yeah.
Keep in mind. And I just feel like, look, I know there's issues in college sports, and I know the NIL deal is the wild west right now. It is crazy. Transfer portals, all that stuff. It's a nuts. Okay. But honestly, these people are not there to fix it.
What's Ted Cruz going to do about that? You know, the only thing that I know about Ted Cruz in college sports is that if he shows up at a game in Texas, the Texas team loses.
That's true.
That is always the case. If he's there, the Texas team is going to lose. It's the Cruz curse. It is infallible. He has never been there to see Texas or A&M or the Houston Astros or any other team win. If he's there, they're going to lose. It's just how it goes.
So I mean, this may not even be relevant, but I'm gonna throw it out anyway. What you guys familiar with like the whole the scandal regarding like paying these kids to throw their games?
Yeah, they're keep in mind. I remember, I don't know if you saw this video. There was a game there was a football game last season, and it was a guy who was playing for University of Buffalo. He caught a bomb pass, and he had a clear shot to go to the end zone. He ran right into the sidelines.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, what the hell? No one was in front of him, nothing. And everyone was like, that's kind of weird. A few days later, not a week, few days later, they found out that he was paid to do that.
Yeah.
And it is for whatever problem lately, it's like most of these kids, it's not just in like the mid-major schools or even the lower mid-major schools. It's even the bigger ones that are caught by this stuff. And it is like, look, there's quote unquote money to be made, but somehow the way I see it is these guys are not talented enough, or their skill set is not great enough to be warranted these lucrative deals that most of these other players get. There are guys, for whatever reason, is going to like 3 different schools, and their money level keeps increasing because of whatever demands that school needs them for.
Mhm.
And keep in mind, it is troubling to have certain schools almost breaking the bank trying to get these kids. I don't know if you know, speaking of New Jersey, Rutgers, I mean, they're going broke pretty much with their program, their football program. They haven't made a profit out of it since going to the Big Ten. And pretty much is like they're doing anything and everything to try to be relevant, but they can't. So
there's no parity. The big schools have all the advantage. They're driving up the prices for everybody else. And then when you add the gambling aspect in on it, there's just too much room for corruption, and people are going to lose confidence in the sport in general. They're just not going to, if you talk to longtime soccer fans, they're going to tell you that every FIFA game is fixed. They don't care for
pretty much.
Because
Speaking
they
of
think
which, Iran may be out, so Italy might come back in for any of the Italians out there, especially from New Jersey. But
is that what's happening?
In likelihood, that's where it's going at. But like you said, speaking of course, the NCAA is, I mean, I've always had issues with the NCAA right from the jump, when they only want to step in when they feel like it's needed to be stepped in, because everyone is complaining about certain things from time to time for years about either one school's doing better than the other due to the fact that like they did some weird shit here and there and everywhere. Like the most notable thing I remember is USC getting busted and pretty much had their national championship revoked and all that stuff, which is fine, but it took them long enough to do it. But then again, you got other schools doing the same shit, and you sort of like sit back and say, oh, we did our thing. We got USC. Why don't we'll get somebody else down the line later.
They went and got Louisville in 2013, and Michigan ended up having been the only other team to compete in the final, but we didn't score as many points as Louisville, but Louisville had their win vacated. So maybe we did win the national championship.
Yeah. So they'll pick and choose. But to be honest with you,
I think
ever since the floodgate of the NIL stuff came about, it has been unstoppable. And I think it's like they never
think what's going to happen.
I mean, a lot of, due to the fact it's like if they just let it come here gradually, it would have been settled. We wouldn't have this issue for have Donald Trump sign an executive order, creating a crazy panel that makes no sense to have, and while you're having a insurgent or whatever you want to call it, it's just
excursion, not insertion. That's a different thing, Brian.
Like I said, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
All right, let's move on from that kind of college nonsense to more college nonsense. This one is called The Inappropriate Relationship. Heavy emphasis on the "the." The president of The Ohio State University has resigned after he disclosed to trustees that he had, quote, an inappropriate relationship, the school said in a statement on Monday. President Walter Carter Jr., who has led the school for 2 years, said in a statement that the relationship was with someone seeking public resources and that he made a mistake in allowing inappropriate access.
Yo, I'm sorry. Keep that picture up. This dude looks like a cartoon character.
Hey, ChatGPT, make me the most stereotypical example of an out-of-touch rich white guy you can possibly manage. Oh, look, it's Walter Carter Jr.
Walter Carter Jr. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
Basically, he had a relation. It's not clear what the relationship is, but there's a woman. Of course, there's a woman involved. Mr. Johnson said part of the university's. Oh, okay. So Ben Johnson, an Ohio State spokesman, said that the board of trustees was alerted to the matter by, quote, someone outside the university. He said that the university will investigate potential concerns regarding public resources. That person outside was somebody paid for by all of us in Ann Arbor. I'm sure of it. Mr. Johnson said part of the university's investigation included a business filing for Veteran USA LLC, which is spelled wrong, Veteran USA, because it's about hearing impaired things, maybe. The name is registered to Chrysanth Vlachos. That's a name.
She sounds
Something
exotic.
Yeah. Brian, see if you can find out who this Chrysanth Vlachos is and get her on the show. She hosts the Call Out podcast, which describes itself as connecting military and veterans to the future of energy and utilities using AI. That is word salad.
Wow.
What the fuck could that possibly mean? Mr. Carter appeared on the podcast at least twice. It's unclear if the relationship Mr. Carter referred to was the one with Miss Vlachos. Yeah. So there's not like much of a story here, except that I'm just sort of like reveling in Ohio having a bad time. The resignation comes as the university of about 67,000 students in Columbus face negative publicity on other fronts. For example, students and faculty have pressured the university to end its connection with donor Les Wexner, who founded Victoria's Secrets, an alumnus and former Ohio State board chair, because of the retail billionaire's ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah. Also, it turns out that Jeffrey Epstein was paying the head of the OBGYN department at Ohio State $25,000 a month just because, and that guy was, maybe treating people that maybe Epstein did things with. So, Ohio.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, man. Why are you looking it up, man? I pulled up Christine Vlachos and the guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They were boning. I could tell.
Okay. There you go. That's
I'm
good,
sorry.
Good sleuthing. Good sleuthing. Wild guess, but good work.
Yeah.
How could you ever figure that out? Also, yeah. So, like, way to go, Ohio. Continue to be the worst place on the planet. And don't come at us for the Sharon Moore bullshit. We know that's bad. We're very aware that's very bad. And all of the other coaches who apparently are doing awful shit. We know. We're fixing that. Get your own shit together.
Absolutely.
Don't come for us.
Absolutely.
Now, look, if Northwestern or somebody like that wants to make fun of it, we get it. Okay. You nerds are squeaky clean. We're cool. We understand. We're bad. You're good. You have real degree and can read, and we're just great at football and basketball. We get it. And hockey and gymnastics and track and all of the other things that we're like winning the conference in. Fine. But Ohio, shut the fuck up. All right, and let's go to Arizona. And then, Brian, do you have any more of your AI nonsense that we have to decipher?
Maybe.
Do you want to slip it in here before we go to the last stories?
Finish the show.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. Oh, this is never good. The FBI obtained voting data from Arizona GOP's 2020 review that confirmed Trump's loss. So here's what happened in this story.
Okay.
Again, we're back to Arizona and Trump losing the election there in 2020, right? And he was like so dead set that this couldn't have possibly happened. And so the state Senate, which was controlled by Republicans at the time in Arizona, hired a company to check into this, right? And I think they were called Code Ninjas or something like that. They were not a company that had anything to do with elections. They didn't have any experience in any of that or whatever, but they hired them to audit the ballots, right? And they came back with no, there wasn't any fraud and they didn't have any evidence of any of this. But because they did that, that got published in the report that the Senate, the Arizona Senate, made from their findings, which meant that the information from those voter information, whatever, which would have normally been destroyed by now, still was compiled and in this place.
Okay, right. It was in there. It was on record.
It's in there in the report, but it's under seal because it's very sensitive information, right? You can't just like put that out there and people are going to find out like who the voters are and what their social security numbers are and all that kind of shit, right?
Okay.
Well, a federal grand jury in Arizona has subpoenaed records from the review that the Republican lawmakers conducted of the 2020 presidential results that confirmed Trump's loss. The subpoena opened a new front in the current Trump administration's expanding hunt for evidence that has never surfaced to support the president's claim of widespread fraud. The law enforcement steps have alarmed election officials for a lot of reasons. Arizona's State Senate President Warren Peterson said Monday that he had received and complied with the subpoena last week, and the FBI has the records. A federal official with knowledge of the subpoena confirms that the FBI obtained the records. The official said that they needed to remain anonymous to discuss this. In 2021, the Republican-led state Senate commissioned a review of nearly 2.1 million ballots in Maricopa County. The effort was funded by Trump supporters, conducted by a firm with no election experience, and run by an executive who supported Trump's fraud claims, his fake fraud claims. Nevertheless, the self-styled audit reaffirmed that Joe Biden had in fact won the race, quote, with no substantial differences from the official certified count. Because of that review, the state Senate retained election records that ordinarily would have been disposed of by now, according to former staff member, and now the FBI's got those. What are they going to do with that? They're not supposed to have that.
It's not supposed to exist, right? I mean,
it's supposed to have been destroyed by now. But yeah, so they've got it. What are they going to do with it? Well, what have they done with it? They've done the same thing in Georgia. They got a bunch of the records. These are places where they're claiming that Trump actually won. I mean, if I had to guess, they're going to fudge some stuff and they're going to make a claim that, yeah, no, Trump actually did win and that these states are illegitimate, and they're going to maybe try to make it so that people can't vote there. I don't think there's going to be an election in November, to be honest, but this is part of it.
Yeah. So quick question, like the infamous phone call, I can't remember if it was Arizona or Georgia, but
Georgia. I need you to find me 11,781 votes. That's one more than we need.
Right. So why is that not? I mean, obviously, it's nothing official about it, but why is that not admissible? Why is that not a part of the conversation? Why does that not convict him?
Because Fonnie Willis was banging her co-counsel. And so that queered the whole indictment.
Okay.
They tossed it. That's why. I mean, it's not that he didn't do it. He did it.
Right. And in
it's
public,
like he said, I didn't do it. He said, I'm allowed to do that.
Right. And public opinion don't mean shit.
It don't.
Okay.
We're a country of laws still for now.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are they going to do with this? They're going to find the people. They're going to try to make it so that those people can't vote. They're going to maybe go intimidate them. They're going to maybe, draft their kids first. Who knows what they're going to do with it? But they're not to have this data for obvious reasons. This is a vindictive, false indictment or whatever investigation, and they're using the weaponized DOJ to attack their political enemies. There you go, Arizona. Watch y'all shit. Everybody watch y'all shit. Ain't gonna be no election. Okay?
Yeah.
You hear it every week, and nobody believes me, but you hear it here every week. I want a medal when they turn out to be right. I'm gonna be really sad when it turns out.
Hey, man, look, man, just get my cafeteria tray. I'm ready for the slop to be slapped on. Yeah,
we're gonna be in the same cell block together. Well, I'm sure we'll be doing ChipChat live from the gulag.
I'm laughing, but I'm crying, yo.
Yeah. All right, you hear that music, which means we've come to the end of the show. So we want to say thank you, Patrick, for hanging out with us.
Yo, man, appreciate it, man.
And being a great co-host. We're coming up on your holiday, by the way.
Absolutely. Yo, National Poetry Month. Yeah.
Yeah, that too. But St. Patrick's Day was what I was going with.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That too. Yeah.
Between now and our next show, So make sure everybody celebrate responsibly in honor of Patrick and in the most safest way possible. Yeah, there you go. It's very Irish of you. So yeah, thanks to Tez, wherever he is, hop slamming it up. We're sure. Thanks to our radio partners, Dubai 101.5, the desert's greatest hits and air raid info every 10 minutes on the fives. Thanks to NOTN for keeping us on for another week, maybe. Don't know. Thanks to our home on the interwebs, coplaymedia.com. And thanks, as always, to our family here at Beltway and Rip Radio for making us sound as smooth as George Santos's cameo career.
Woo!
There you go. All right, Pat, where can everybody find you on the socials?
Just follow me on IG, man. Black Picasso's Gallery. That's it. Black Picasso's Gallery.
There you go. And you can catch up with all the cool shit that he's up to. All right. You can find me on the Twitter and the show at ChipChatRR. You can find us on Facebook or Instagram at Ripped ChipChat, all one word. And you can find me on the Blue Sky at Chef Chip, my old Twitter handle. And you can find us every Thursday night here at 9:30 on Beltway Radio and also simulcast on Rip Radio because, we're everywhere and you might want to tune in everywhere. Stay tuned in the next few weeks. We got a lot of good guests coming up. It's going to be really cool. You're probably going to learn some stuff. You might see some familiar face. It's going to be good. I promise you that. We've been working hard at that. Our production staff is run by Brian. He's doing way more work than Tez has ever done in his entire life. And that's the end of the show. I'm Chip. That's Pat. Brian somewhere in the back. You've been listening to Chip Chat on Beltway Radio and beyond.
Yeah.